My brothers, my sisters, as you sit where you sit and you listen to God's word, may I ask you a question? Do not answer me. Are you numb spiritually? Does sin bother you? The book of Malachi has a series of very interesting questions. And in a certain sense, all the questions are related, and so are the responses. But the first statement followed by a question. Malachi chapter 1, verse 2. In that passage, God speaks first. And God said, I have loved thee, saith the Lord. He is telling his people, I have loved you, I have loved thee. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? We don't see how you love us. Chapter 3, verse 7. Even from the days of your fathers, ye have gone away from my ordinances and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you. But ye said, wherein shall we return? God is saying, come back to me. And they're saying, how? We have no idea how to come back. Look at verse 8 of Malachi 3. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? This is amazing. God is saying, you have stolen from me. And they say, how? We're not aware of taking anything from you fraudulently. My brothers and sisters, is it possible that God sees us one way and we see ourselves an entirely different way? Is it possible that we are numb to our true condition? Is there a way to deal with this numbness? I ask you again, is there a biblical way to reverse the numbness and to develop sensitivity to sin and to righteousness? The answer is yes. Someone may say, well, I'm not numb to sin. I recognize sin. It is not enough to recognize sin. You have to recognize the sinfulness of sin. You take away God's commandments and the sinfulness of sin vanishes. And all sin becomes is a minor irritation, an indiscretion, a bad choice. It is not something horrible. Let me repeat. Take away God's law and the world remains numb to its true condition. A man came home one night. He was terribly hungry. Came home so late the wife was sleeping. Left the food on the table. He turned on the kitchen light, saw the food there and covered with ants. He turned off the light and started to eat. Couldn't see the ants. Now, the law is God's light that reveals the ants in our lives. Now, without that light, Paul said, I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died. Verse 9 of Romans chapter 7. He said, I was alive without the law once. What he means by alive, he was fine with the life he was living. But when the commandment came, when a knowledge of God's law came to Paul, he realized how wicked he was. He realized how sinful he was. That's what he means by sin revived. And he said, I died. What does it mean by I died? Began to feel the weight of guilt. Began to see how horrible and what a terrible person he was, and all his sense of self-sufficiency, all his pride in who he was, that collapsed. That's how he died. And by the way, until you experience that, you cannot experience conversion. For the converted person, God's law is life. It's a life preserver. But for the sinner, it's death and condemnation. Some of us need to start with God all over again. I mean, start all over again. My brothers, my sisters, as you sit where you sit and you listen to God's word, may I ask you a question? Do not answer me. Are you numb spiritually? Does sin bother you? Someone needs to decide, I need to start all over with God.